Mega Evolution, one of the greatest gimmicks in Pokemon history. And every Mega Evolution has a shiny. Some great, some not so much. But today, I am going to redesign and recolor every single Mega Evolution that has ever existed. This video took a long time for me to make, given I had to redesign every single Mega Evolution, so a like and maybe even a subscribe would be very, very helpful. Anyways, let's just get right into the video. Alright, for this, I went in Pokédex order, so I started off with Venusaur, and Venusaur honestly has a really great shiny already for its Mega Evolution, so I didn't really know what to do at first, so I just did some color palette swaps, and I found this really nice yellow that I think fits with Venusaur very nicely, and it looks great on its Mega. So that's basically what I did for Venusaur. Here is the final product for Venusaur. Alright, then moving on, we have Charizard X and Y. So starting off with Charizard X, I didn't really know what to did have a decent idea because Mega Charizard X has a really poor shiny. In my opinion, the green is just gross, so I had to change that definitely. So I changed it to some red, and I think it turned out very nice, and I just added it to the wings as well, and yeah, I think it honestly just turned out really great, and I think it looks awesome. Alright, then on Mega Charizard Y, I actually took a completely different route. I do think the black shiny is really good on Mega Charizard Y, so I had a hard time coming up with something that I could change it to that would still be good, but I ended up going with this light teal color that I found that was really good when I was palette swapping, and I made that look really nicely. Then I did the insides of the wings and made them the same kind of blue color as well, and honestly, blue looks really nice on Charizard. I don't think it's better than the black shiny that it already has, but I still think that it looks nice on him. But anyways, this is the final product. Alright, so then I did Blastoise, and Blastoise was very difficult because I didn't really think that I could change anything and make it good. Now that I'm commentating on this, I do think I could have maybe made the skin for Blastoise green, and it would have made it look more like a turtle, and that would have been pretty nice, but I just ended up changing the shell to brown like it is normally on the shiny, because I didn't really like the green that it has on its shiny, so I wanted to change that definitely. But yeah, that's basically all I did for Blastoise, so it's not that impressive, but it's a shiny nonetheless. Here it is. Alright, moving on, we got Beedrill, and I actually took inspiration from the Organ Pipe Muddauber, which is a type of wasp, and it has these really cool blue wings, and it has a black body, so I tried to replicate that with this Beedrill shiny. I gave it the nice blue wings in the back, and I also gave it the gray and black body, and I think it turned out really nice, to be completely honest. I like it better than the original shiny, if you're asking me. But I actually took inspiration off of an actual creature to make this really nice. But yeah, it turned out really nice, so here it is. I'm interrupting the video to tell you about a really cool app called Goldex. Goldex is a really incredible Pokédex and team building app that you can download on the Play Store right now. Goldex comes with a Pokédex list of every single Pokemon all the way up to Gen 9, and each Pokemon has its own unique info, including the Dex number, the description, move set, locations, and more. Not only that, but you can also select favorite Pokemons and choose many different filters to help you find the Pokemon that you're looking for. There is also a super handy team building feature in this app where you can create your teams. All you gotta do is select a Pokemon, select its moves, abilities, and held items, and then you just add it to your team, and then you do that until you have a full team that you can use. It has a lot of different other features, so I recommend that you go ahead and explore the app. I've been working with the creator of this app, and he has been very kind, and he has given me 10 promotional codes that will unlock premium for this app for completely free. So if you would like a chance to win one of these promotional codes, then please read the description and pinned comment, and it will have more information on that. Anyways, thank you so much to the creator of Goldex, and anyways, I really recommend this app, so go check it out. Alright, moving on, we got Pidgeot. So for Pidgeot, I didn't really know what to do, to be completely honest, and you're gonna hear that a lot throughout this video. But for Pidgeot, I kind of just messed around with the hue settings and changed the color a lot until I found this really nice red and brown combination, and it really reminded me of Spearow, which is another Gen 1 bird. So I thought it fit really well with that sort of Gen 1 bird theme, but I couldn't really find anything else better than this, and I couldn't come up with anything myself, so I thought this was a really good alternative to Pidgeot Shiny. I still think Pidgeot Shiny is better than this, but it is what it is. Alright, moving on to Alakazam. I had a really good idea for Alakazam, actually. So first, I made the stone in the middle of its head yellow, which is a reference to the Mind Stone. If you don't know, that is from the Avengers, so I thought that would be a really cool detail to add. I also made his the spoons. I thought it would be really cool if I made the spoons that float above his head different colors, kind of like the colors of the rainbow. So I made the spoons above his head different colors. But anyways, here's the final product. For Slowbro, I didn't know what to do at first, but then I had a pretty genius idea. I changed the color, I tried to at least change the color of the shell to be a little bit more of like a pearlescent white. It didn't really turn out how I wanted it to, but I think it is a little bit better than the original. I also changed the spots on the side of the shell to be more kind of like Fruity Pebbles, kind of, so they're like different colors all the way across, and I think it just turned out really nicely. I think that I was going to change a little bit of I was going to change the skin color of Slowbro himself, but I couldn't really find any color that worked. At first I was going to try brown because it looks kind of like an otter, which is what he's based on, but it just didn't really look right, so I just swapped it back to the original purple that he has, and I just left it be. But I think it looks pretty nice, so here it is. Now, Gengar has arguably the best shiny for a Mega in the game. It's just so good. The white looks amazing. And if I'm going to be completely honest, I tried so hard to try different things, and it just did not work. So in the end, I just swapped it back to the original and then made the eye on the center of his head red, and that's all I did for Gengar's Mega Shiny, because I just genuinely could not find anything that looked better, so I just didn't know what to do. So that's pretty much it, but here it is. For Kangaskhan, based off of a kangaroo, and has the little kid that is in the pouch. But in the original shiny, I was surprised because the kid is actually pink and Kangaskhan is like brown. So I wanted to make them a little more similar. So I made the Kangaskhan sort of similar pink to the kid, but then I made it a little bit darker just to separate between the two, and I think it was a simple change, but it actually turned out really nicely, and it just makes them look, you know, related, like they, mother-child. So next one I did was Pinsir, and Pinsir, if you didn't know, is based off of a stag beetle. And I was looking through Google, and I found this really cool image of a stag beetle that was kind of black, and it had these really cool red horns. So I tried to replicate that on the Pinsir's Mega, and I didn't really, I had a hard time finding a good color for the horns. I ended up going with this like light kind of peachy red, and then I just changed the body color to this sort of black. It's like gray, almost black, and I think it looks really nice. I think I could have done a better job finding a different hue of red, but I couldn't do that because I just couldn't really find the right color. But either way, I still think it turned out really well. Alright, moving on to Gyarados, and from the moment I decided I was going to make this video, I knew exactly what I was going to do with Mega Gyarados. And I was going to make it gold, because Magikarp Shiny is gold, and I thought it would be really cool if it carried over to Gyarados with its Mega, so it gets a golden shiny. So I just tried to make it all gold all the way throughout, and I left that little line of red in the middle by accident, but I actually think it looks really nice because it still keeps the red of the original shiny, but it also adds on to the gold, and it adds a nice little highlight that you can see through the center, and I just think it looks really nice. The red is a classic, but I honestly like the gold a little bit better than the red. I just think it pops out more, and it just looks really good. Aerodactyl, I didn't really have a good idea of what I was going to do. At first I thought maybe I'd change the rocks on its wings to a sort of a dark red color, but then I decided against that. I thought it wouldn't really look good, so I did a little bit of changing of the colors on the actual body, and I found this nice pink color, and I looked at it and I thought it looked pretty decent. So then I went to the insides of the wings and I tried to get something that is similar color but a little bit different, so it has the contrasts, and I found this really deep purple color that I decided on using, and I found that it actually complemented the pink very, very well, and I think it looks very great on Aerodactyl's Mega. I do, however, think now that I should have made the eyes red. I think it would have added to the aesthetic a little bit better, but I mean, what I did, I think it was really nice. It turned out great. Now moving on to Mega MewtwoX and Mega MewtwoY. So I at first was going to change it to a red or maybe even a blue, but I decided against that, and I wanted to do something a little more simple this time. So I decided doing just a slightly darker magenta color than their regular form, and I just put that on there, and it looks a lot similar to their regular form, but I do like it. If you put them side by side, it looks different and it looks better. So yeah. There's Mega MewtwoY. I did the exact same colors as Mega MewtwoX. I just thought it made sense. But yeah, that's just Mega MewtwoY. Then for Ampharos, I didn't want to change the pink because I thought the pink on it was really iconic, and I just didn't want to change that. So I decided to make the wool a little bit darker and make it more maybe like a black sheep, kind of like Wooloo's shiny. I didn't really make it a black because it didn't really look nice when I made it a darker black, so I just made it kind of a light gray. And then I changed the little balls, like the pearls that are on its tail and its forehead, to this really nice purple magenta color, and it really complements the pink super duper well, and it goes well with the gray. So that's what I ended up doing with Ampharos. I wish now that I did a little bit more with the body, maybe changed its ear color a little bit, but overall it looks nice, and I do think it's a really good change to the shine. For Steelix, I actually accidentally made this green when I went into the palette swap settings, but I realized afterwards that it actually looks very similar to Onyx Shiny, which is green, and I just think it looks very nice like this. It, reminisce on the Onyx, make it green. I also like, I kept the, sort of pearlescent crystals that run along it, but I do think the green just really is, like, I'm not one for green shinies. I think a lot of them fail in terms of looks, but this one definitely doesn't. This one is really good. Alright, moving on to Scizor. I wanted to do an all-black shiny again. I just thought it would really look nice on Scizor. And I just made him all black and all gray. I was originally going to make him gray on his helmet piece and his leg pieces and his shoulder pieces, and then make him like a sort of blue color on his body. But then once I changed it all to gray, I decided against it. I thought the gray made him look a little more metallic, like a robot kind of, which, I mean, he's definitely looking like in his Mega. He looks kind of like a robot sort of bug, a robot bug, and I just think that looked really nice with the gray. It fit the theme, fit the aesthetic, and I really like it. Moving on to Heracross, this has got to be one of my favorite shinies that I made today. and I just really think that the gold that I put on here looks absolutely incredible. I can't remember at the time, or at the moment, what I was actually going to end up doing with Heracross. I think I was going to make him black and red, but I put the gold on there, and it just looks fantastic. This has got to be one of my favorite shinies I've done so far, and I really wish that this was in the game, because this looks insane. Alright, moving on to Houndoom. This is another one that I just did a small little change because I didn't really want to change the blue on it. I just thought the blue looked too good. So I ended up deciding to just change the red on his face and on his claws to a little bit of a dark gray color. I don't know why I chose gray. I could have chose, like, I don't know. I just chose gray. I thought it fit a little bit better with the blue than the red, but I still think it looks good. It's a simple change, but it's a nice one at that. Moving on to Tyranitar, this is another one of my favorite shinies that I've done today. I ended up changing his eyes to red, and I also wanted to keep the purple because I like the purple that's on his belly, but I didn't really like the green that his shiny has around the rest of him, so I decided to change it to a black, and it looks so good. I wish this shiny was actually in the game. It makes it look more dark and evil, and I just really like that about it. It also complements the purple and the chest and stomach really, really nicely, and I just love the way this one turned out. This has got to be one of my favorites. So now Mega Sceptile is one of my favorite Megas shinies of all time, personally. So I didn't really know what to change about it. I didn't want to change the blue because that's my favorite part about it, but I ended up deciding to change the tip of his arms and the little stripes on his tail to match the red at the tip of his tail. And then I also changed the little balls that run on his back to a nice purple and pink color, and I think that complements a little bit better with the blue than the red that they used to be. But overall, I think it's a simple change what I did, but I like it nonetheless. Blaziken, I had a really good idea. I thought it would be cool if I changed the fire to blue fire, kind of like Mega Charizard X. So I changed the fire on his arms to blue, but I didn't think it fit really well with the red, so I changed his head part to a little bit of a light gray, and then I changed the red parts along his body to a light blue, and it all fits well together. I think that I like the original shiny better, to be completely honest, but I still think that the blue shiny is a nice change, and the blue fire just makes sense when he mega evolves, but I just think it looks pretty nice. You know, Swampert, I kind of messed up. I lowered the resolution on this image on accident, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do, so I did some color swapping, and I found this really nice green and blue color combo that makes him look really amphibious, which fits super well with Mega Swampert, and honestly, I would be... I really like this shiny. I didn't really put much effort into this one, because I just did a color swap. But I really think that this one turned out extremely nicely, and the green and the blue work really well together, and it's just a really great shiny. Next is Gardevior, another one in which I didn't get a really high resolution image, and originally I was going to change the dress to purple or pink, but I couldn't really figure that out, to be completely honest, since I'm new to this whole editing thing. So I just changed the chest piece to a nice magenta color and the head piece to this like peachy red color, and I honestly think it turned out well. It doesn't really do it justice because of the image quality, but I think it looks pretty nice. On Sableye, I had a really nice idea. I wanted to change his body color to a nice dark blue. Honestly, it reminds me of Stitch from Lilo and Stitch. And then I wanted to get inspiration from Diancie, which you'll see later on in this video, and I made the crystal pink. and it just reminded me of Deontay's pink crystal that she has, and I just think that it looks really well with Sableye. I do like the green and the gold combo with Shiny Mega Sableye that it originally has, and I do like it better than my recreation, but I still think my recreation has potential nonetheless, and it is still really nice. Alright, moving on to Mega Mawile. I did not know at all what I was going to do for this, and I was going to originally change the mouths that are in the back of her head to a dark red color, but then I decided against it because I thought it just wouldn't look right with the pink. So I just decided to change her head and her body to sort of like a hot pink color, and it's a really simple change, but it's one that I could see with a shiny. I also changed the spots on the back of her heads to the same magenta hot pink color, and I think it looks really nice, honestly. Definitely not my best work, but it's nice nonetheless. So moving on to Aggron, I was originally going to make his body red, but then I just decided to make his arms and his innards red, this like dark red color, and I also made his body sort of a dark gray, and I think the dark gray and the dark red really complement each other very well, and it just looks incredible on Aggron. I was originally going to do black on his body, but I decided against it and thought the dark gray would look just a little bit better, so I used the dark gray instead, but overall, it's really nice. Medicham, I really didn't know what to do with her, but then I had a really great idea. I changed the skin to this pink color, and I think that really goes well with the gold and the blue. I think all three of those colors just look really nicely together, and this is definitely one of my favorite shinies that I made as well. Definitely one of my favorites. Manectric is also another one of my favorite Mega Evolutions, and I think I did a really nice job. So I didn't really know what to do at first. I thought at first I was going to make a red on his on this top part, but then as I was fiddling with the hue changer settings, I found this hot pink color, and I don't know, I really like pink shinies. You can probably tell by now I've added pink to a lot of them, and this one still is just really nice. I like the pink touches, that it just pops so well, and I think it's really nice. Sharpedo is another one of my favorite shiny megas that I've created, and I decided to make the top kind of like a burnt gold color. The top of his head is like a brownish gold. I don't really know how to explain it, but it's really nice. And then I put the bottom of his underbelly to sort of like a light tan color, and I think they complement each other just really well, and it looks great on Mega Sharpedo as well. This is definitely one of my favorites. Alright, Camerupt. At first I was going to make his volcano brown to fit the volcano theme a little bit better, but I couldn't really get it right, so I just stuck to changing his body, and I changed his body to sort of a purple color. I think it looks a little bit better than the blue that he originally has with his shiny, but overall I think this one has turned out really nice, but yeah. Then going on to Altaria, another one that I was a little hesitant on changing the body because I didn't want to stray away from the gold, because I think the gold just looks really good on Altaria and I didn't want to change it. So I decided to stick to the clouds, and at first I was going to make them a dark gray, but then I made them like a bubblegum pink, and I think it actually looks really well. I like how the pink turned out, and it really complements with the yellow, but I just think it looks really nice. Banette is another one that I changed my mind with a few times. I was originally going to make the claws and the body black like shadows, so it looked kind of like shadows were coming out of the clothing, but then as I was changing the settings, I found this really nice gold color, and I decided sticking with that because it matches with the gold around the zippers. Then I changed the eyeballs to a red color to symbolize, you know, the evil ghost that Banette is, evil spirit type of thing. And I think that it turned out really nicely. Definitely one of my favorites that I've created so far. Similar thing here with Mega Absol. I decided it was really hard for me to find something better than the red, and I still think the red is better than this one. I was going to change his body color to a sort of a pink, but I couldn't really figure out how to do that, so I changed it back to the white, and then I decided to go do something with his wings and with the horn on his head, and I ended up going with this nice gold bronze color, and like I said, I think that the red is a little bit better than this, but I still think this one is nice anyways, and I think I made a good change on it. Glalie is probably one of the most underwhelming Mega Shinies of all time, with the only change being its red eyes, so I had to do him some justice. So I started off by making the body color like a light purple, a pastel purple, which kind of represents the shiny of Frostlass, which has the purple around its stomach. Then I also changed the crystals on its head to the same red color that it's on its eyes to kind of match that sort of color as well. And overall, I think this is a really great change. It makes the shiny for Mega Glalie so much better, and I think that something like this in the games would have just been amazing. Then on to Mega Salamence. I was going to do a purple on his body at first, but then I decided away from it, and I went to this really nice like yellow gold color that really complements the yellow or the orange on his wings a lot better. I definitely think that this is better than the green that he has in his regular shiny. I do not like the green at all in his original shiny. So I definitely think that this is a step up from his regular shiny. Then Metagross. I didn't really want to change anything with Metagross because Metagross already has a really nice shiny and its Mega is even better. So I just went the simple route with this. I was originally going to change the X on his face to gold to match the hands, but I didn't really like it that much, so I ended up changing it to red to match his eyes. And then I just wanted to brighten up the yellow on his claws just a little bit more, so I brightened them up, made them a little brighter of a yellow, just to pop out a little bit more, and it's a simple change, but overall, I think it looked really nice, and I think I did a good job on it. Moving on to Latios&Latios, I had a really nice idea for these, and since their shinies are both the exact same, they're just this gross green color, I wanted to do something that's a little bit cooler in my opinion. So for Latios, I actually changed his color to red. And the same thing with Latios, I changed Latios to blue to symbolize his original color, and I just think it looks really nice. These are probably my favorites that I've made, because it's such a simple change, but I feel like this should have been in the game. It just makes sense. They represent their original colors with their shinies. I just think it looks so nice. Moving on to Rayquaza, another shiny that I had trouble changing because it's just an already great shiny. So I just fiddled with the color palette changing. I just changed the hue a little bit, and I ended up sticking to this like bluish purple sort of color that highlights the black. And I still think the original is a billion times better, but I think that this has a decent amount. I think that the purple looks really nice. I don't know why, it reminds me of space, and Rayquaza's from space, so I think it looks pretty nice. So for Lopunny, I did not want to change the pink on her because I think that a lot of people love the pink on Lopunny's shiny. So I decided messing with her body color, and I found this really light blue that I thought looked well, and it reminded me of like a cotton candy. sort of color, and I just chose it because it looked really nice. The colors fit really well together. I think it fits well on Lopunny, and it just reminded me of cotton candy, so that's why I chose it. Next with Garchomp, has a really nice shiny for his Mega originally, so I didn't know what to change it to, but I did some color palette swapping, and I found this really nice sort of brown and yellow color combination, and so I swapped it to that, but I didn't really like the gold or the green that was on his head and on his belly, so I changed that to sort of a dark red, and I think that fits a lot better than the green did. But yeah, that's pretty much all I did for Garchomp. I think it turned out really nicely. Moving on to Lucario, I wanted to brighten up the yellow on him a little bit more because his yellow looked more like a sort of puke greenish yellow color. It just looked really bad, so I upped the brightness on his yellow. I also added the yellow to the back of his head as well as his feet and hands. I thought it just made sense that way. And then I changed his body and his his jacket and his tail to a dark gray color, which I think fits better with the gold anyways. So some simple changes I made for Lucario, but I think that they actually look really nice on him. For Abomasnow, I didn't really want to change anything with his body, so I just decided to take the simple route, and I just made, at first I was going to make his feet an orange, but I didn't really like it that much, so I changed it to a dark purple, and then I changed the crystals that are on his back and feet to purple as well, and it's a simple yet nice change that I really like. Next up is Gallade, and I wanted to do something a little more simple with Gallade as well. So I was originally going to make him red on his head and arms, but I decided to go with a purple, and I think it fits him really well with the gray that he is and the white. It's just a really nice color combination. I think that it goes really well together. Mega Audino also has a really terrible shiny, so I wanted to do a little bit better than Nintendo did, but I ended up going with a green hue on the back and on his feet and chest, and then went with sort of a cotton candy light pink on his undertone on his ears and on his face and his belly. And I think it really just I don't really like this one that much. I mean, you guys can let me know what you think about this one, but I don't really like how it turned out, but I don't know, it's okay. Now, the final Mega that is in the Pokemon universe is Deontay, and I wanted to change this one up a lot, and I had a really nice idea. I wanted to make her look more like Carbink, because if you don't know, a Carbink can turn into Deontay, and Carbink has the light blue crystals, so I wanted to replicate that onto Deontay. So I made her pink crystals blue, and I changed her dress to blue as well, and I think that this shiny turned out really, really nice, and it's definitely one of my favorites that I've done. But you guys let me know what you think. That is the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments below which was your favorite shiny that I made. My personal favorite has to be either Sharpedo or Heracross. I just really like the way that those ones turned out. Maybe even Tyranitar. That one turned out very nicely as well. But anyways, make sure you guys download Goldex. A link will be in the description below. I will be giving away those codes, and you guys have a chance of getting yourself a free premium code. Anyways, guys, that is pretty much it. I really hope you enjoyed. This took a long time, so a like and maybe even a subscribe would be very much appreciated. Anyways, I am Shiny Scale, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.